Welcome, everybody. This is your host, Izzy. Normally I do the Red Zone Report on Sundays, but today I've been called upon to do the post-game show. Usually Dave would cover Saturdays, but Dave is not covering today because he has some other engagements going on. And so it's me here to deliver the sad news that our Buffalo Bills lost to the Denver Broncos in the postseason in overtime. But before I get into that, this show is on Built in Buffalo on YouTube, X, and Facebook. And as you can tell by my demeanor, I'm a little miserable, right? This sucks. This really, really, really sucks. But, congratulations to the Denver Broncos. Honestly, with the way the offense played for the Bills, the Broncos deserved that one. I'm not going to lie. Sorry about that. What's up, Sandra? I see you in the comments. I dropped the Xbox controller on my mouse here. And yeah, this is bull. The refs helped them win. I agree. The refs did help them win. The refs did. The pass interference against Taron Johnson was egregiously terrible. That was a BS call. The DPI on Trey was, that was PI. I'm sorry. We can deny that one all we want, but the fact is Trey did get there early, wrapped him up, had his arm around his arm. So the one against Trey, yeah, that was on Trey. I'm doing a show, lady. Yeah. Hang on. Sorry, everybody. I had a situation with the wife. I'm seeing the comments, and there's a lot of frustration and anger in the comments, and I can't tell you not to be angry or frustrated. So, yeah, that low pass to Shakir and Miss Dawson, and our head coach sucks. We always get out-coached in huge games. I don't think we got out-coached in this game. I don't think we got out-coached at all. This was an execution issue here. James Cook puts the ball on the ground. They scored 3 off that. Josh Allen puts the ball on the ground. They scored 3 off that. Josh Allen puts the ball on the ground again. Defense holds up. I think they scored 3 on that too. Josh Allen throws an interception. I don't agree with half that take. The first part I definitely agree with. See, we need to trade Allen. That's an overreaction, but I get the frustration. See, Denver didn't win that game. Las Vegas. Okay, I see what you're saying. See, problem is you call that they should have called when Cooks was in the end zone, and the game probably doesn't go to overtime. I agree there too. Yeah, the refs helped them out quite a bit. See, fire McDermott. How many times is his defense going to give up 30 points in the playoffs? Their defense gave up 30 points too, and they're supposed to be one of the best in the league. It's the playoffs, you know. Bo Nix is proving to be pretty damn good, but I understand the frustration. I get it. Yeah, the refs are autistic. Yeah, facts. Yeah. So we had plenty of time left and plenty of downs left, yet they throw deep and cough up the ball instead of playing smart. Stupid. You know, if Josh leads Cooks a little bit more on that pass, there's probably no question, and he catches it. I think he caught it and was down, and then the ref screwed us on that. That's what I think happens. That was a catch. I agree. It was a catch. Refs are a joke. They are a joke. It was pretty terrible, but when you turn the ball over 4 times in regulation, you know, you deserve to lose. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But it is what it is. So you fire the coach. I'm not with that. He'll be back. See, Allen could get us some good picks in the draft. He could get us some really good picks in the draft. Right? And if you trade Josh Allen, you're trading him for the number 1 overall pick and a haul. But we just paid Josh Allen. Josh Allen's not going anywhere. That dead cap hit would be crazy unless the other team agrees to take all of it. All of it. But maybe you trade him to the Raiders or the Raiders that have the number 1 overall pick. Maybe you say, hey, you know, send you to Las Vegas. I think that's crazy, but yeah. See, that call, Cooks caught that ball. I agree. See, we did get out coached. Why not kneel before half? Gave him 3 points. That's kind of a good point, but I don't think that is the end all be all. You know, you got to be aggressive because the Broncos were going to be aggressive, and they were very aggressive. And so if you don't match their aggression, they're going to run all over you. They're going to steamroll you. I think it was a dumb decision by Josh. You know, he could have just slid. You know, you give your quarterback a shot, and then he has to make the decision to either slide or do what he did. And he did what he did, and now here we are. I don't think it's a coaching issue. I think that's a Josh issue. See, Vegas sure knows how to win games for the opponents. Cooks had that ball. I agree. And there was pass interference against him in the end zone. They didn't call it. But they sure did call that one on Taron Johnson against Cortland Sutton, which was bull. See, look, I'm blaming the refs. Allen threw some badass passes. Cook got manhandled on that last pass. Plain and simple. He got manhandled, but I think he caught the ball. He had the ball here in his chest, on the ground. Knee touches. They roll, and the other guy gets the ball. I don't think that's what it is. Sean will not get it done. I think he can. I think he can. So you trade for Baker Mayfield. Him and Allen throw the same amount of picks. No. If you put Baker on this team with these wide receivers, no. We don't get to playoffs. He didn't get to playoffs with those wide receivers that he's got. He had a Buka. You know, he had some good receivers. His tight end play is solid. Their running backs, Bucky Irvin, really good. Like, you know, they had a bunch of injuries too, but, you know, it is what it is. See, Cooks had that ball next year. Next year, new stadium, you know, we'll see what happens. See, that's how it ends. Bills fans since 1990. I'll wait a little longer, but please give Josh coaches and a team around him. I think he's got coaches, man. I think he's got coaches. Brady can go, but at the same time, we got this far with this supporting cast, right? It is what it is. All right, let me get into the game, guys. We've been going on for 10 minutes about all this. See, Allen missed Knox on a game winner. He's still having the same issues. Yeah, he did miss Dawson Knox. He was pressured, and he felt the pressure, but still. So you kneel before half. You're down 7, not 10. Agreed, you are. But you have Josh Allen. And that double-edged sword cuts both ways. So it is what it is. See, how many more excuses we going to keep making for this team? We'll never get over the hump, and these changes are made. Unless changes are made. I don't know if I agree with that, but, you know, I can't say your opinion is invalid. See, I'm going to Buffalo and put together a good Barra Brava from the Bills. I don't know what that means, but see, no superstars coming to Buffalo next year will be the same crap. I don't think that's true. I think they're going to go out and they're going to be purposeful to go get superstars. I think that's what it is. I think that Brandon Beane, his feet are to the fire more than Sean McDermott. Before the season, when he had that blow up with WGR, right? We still scored 30 points a game. Yeah, but when you get to the playoffs, you're not playing the Jets. You're not playing the Dolphins. You're not playing sorry-ass teams. You're playing the Broncos like today, where they have Pat Surtain. And Khalil Shakir had another solid day, but we needed more than solid. We needed an exceptional day. We needed an exceptional day. I'd bring back Cooks. If I'm the Bills, I find a way to unload Coleman for like a 5th or a 6th because that's not working out. I re-sign Cooks if possible and bring him in as a veteran wide receiver. I unload Curtis Samuel. We save a bunch of money by letting him go. Give some of that money to Cooks. I wouldn't give him a whole bunch of money, but I'd give him enough money. He clearly still has something in the tank. With the Saints, he didn't look like it, but yeah, Keon Coleman, I'm sorry. That experiment has come and gone. I'm over it. He drops that catch in the end zone, right? Josh hit him. It was a penalty, right? But they declined the penalty because Keon Coleman dropped the ball. If Keon Coleman catches that touchdown pass, then they have to accept the penalty. We get another 3rd down play. Plain and simple. He's got to go. He's got to go. That's okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm with you, Jim. I don't know if it's dumb, but yeah. After this game, we should make a play for Jefferson if we can, and he isn't happy. I agree. I would make a play for Justin Jefferson. The Vikings probably got to blow it up because they picked the wrong quarterback. J.J. McCarthy looked solid at times, but they're truly wasting Justin Jefferson. And as a wide receiver, he's not like Stephon Diggs where he's this big diva-like personality. He's more of a team guy. If you can go get Jefferson, which if you think about it, if we had kept that pick and didn't trade for Diggs, which I'm not saying is a mistake because Diggs had 4 good seasons here, a couple of excellent seasons, like all-pro type seasons, but eventually that personality took over. If we keep that pick, we probably draft Justin Jefferson. And where are we now? So, it's time for that to come full circle. Fire McDermott. I understand your frustration. Am I in the minority for not wanting Joe Brady gone? I'm 50-50 on the Joe Brady thing. Right? I'm 50-50 on that. Here's why I'm 50-50 on the Joe Brady thing. Even though he had some bad play calls this year, and he did. He definitely did. I believe his play calling was predicated on the fact that he was working with substandard weapons. Outside of James Cook, Dalton Kincaid, and the wide receiver in the tight end room, which we have a solid tight end room. I would keep all the tight ends. Those guys came through in the clutch later in the season to help us win games. The tight end room's fine. Jackson Hawes, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. Those guys are fine. You obviously keep Khalil Shakir, right? You keep James Cook, obviously. Ray Davis will be back because he's too good of a kick returner to get rid of. Ty Johnson's back next year. The offensive line is probably going to see some changes. They're not going to be able to afford to keep David Edwards and Connor McGovern. Plus, they have some good youthful guys waiting in the wings in Alec Anderson and in, I would say Talon Grable, but he's always hurt. But Cedric Van Granger, another guy who's played solid for us. You got guys who are waiting in the wings to get their opportunity. Yeah, if you ask me, and you guys are watching the show, so I'll take that as you asking me. This game falls mostly on the shoulders of Josh Allen. It just does. It just does. I'm sorry. I love Josh. Love Josh with all my heart. But yeah. Yeah. See, Josh Allen didn't play great either. He did not. Let's go over the statistics, right? Let's go over the statistics because the show's probably only going to be 30 to 45 minutes. So Bo Nix had a solid day, right? 26 of 46. So just over 50% on his passes. 279 yards. Solid day yardage-wise. Averaged 6.1 yards per pass. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. We did not sack him once. We pressured him a lot, but we didn't get one single sack. His passer rating was 87.1, which, if you compare it to Josh's rating, I don't know if that's passer rating or if that's QBR. It says RTG, so I'm guessing it's passer rating. Usually they'll put QBR as a thing. Josh Allen was 25 or 39, so much higher completion percentage than Bo Nix. And 283 yards, so more yardage, 7.3 yards per pass, 3 touchdowns, but he threw 2 interceptions. Now, the second interception, super questionable. He was sacked only 3 times in this game, which I say only because that Denver defense is elite when it comes to getting to the quarterback. His passer rating was 90. The Broncos couldn't run the ball to save their lives. This is why I'm saying I'm with McDermott here, because the defense didn't play bad until later in the game. Half the points in the first half weren't on the defense. They were on the offense giving up the ball with a short field. That's a 10-point swing in the first half. We're down 20-10 at half because of errors by players. And then if you want to blame McDermott for not kneeling it at half, you can. I won't. I'm 50-50 on that. But, you know, that's on the offense to me. The Broncos didn't have to advance the ball at all at the end of half to kick that field goal. Joe Brady's play calling this game was solid. I don't think he had a bad day play calling. He had a couple of plays where I was like, why are you doing that? Like the screen to Khalil Shakir that got sniffed out immediately. You did that all year, right? You did it all year, and then you called it in this game like the Broncos are some slouch-ass defense. They're not. The Broncos are a great defense. They've played a lot of bums this year. They had the 31st hardest schedule in the NFL. Right, the Patriots had the easiest schedule, and the Broncos had the second easiest schedule. That's just a fact when you look at who they played. Right, they played the Raiders twice. I think they lost to the Raiders. They played the Chiefs twice, which the Chiefs this year were ass, and they played the Chargers twice. When they lost to the Chargers, I know that. I do not. I don't think we get rid of the head coach, and I know you want him gone. I've seen your comments. I understand why you do. I don't think they do. If they get rid of anybody, it's probably Brandon Beane. But I don't think they're going to do that to him either. I think they're going to roll with it. They're going to leave the cap situation and all the cap savings that they can get by letting players go, because there's a bunch of them that can be let go for cap savings. I think defensive tackle is going to be a spot where they feel comfortable because the 2 rookies, as the season went on, got better. I know TJ Sanders was hurt for a good chunk, but it is what it is. Bills suck. Today they did. Yeah. Today was I'll accept that. I'm not soft-skinned. So that's fine. See, Brady will be an awful head coach. He runs the same plays over and over. So I don't know if he'll be an awful head coach. I think there have been some really, really good coordinators who have been awful head coaches, and I believe that there are some coordinators, some coordinators who weren't that great that became really good head coaches. Like John Harbaugh wasn't an offensive or defensive coach. He was a special teams coordinator. He got hired and he won a Super Bowl. So, of all the losses in the playoffs, where does this one rank in the Josh Allen era? Ooh. I'd say it's probably the 3rd most painful. Most painful is 13 seconds. Hands down. That one hurts the most. Second most painful is the one last year to the Chiefs. We had them. This one's 3rd. This one sucks. But yeah. See, was that play at the end on Brandon Cooks or Joe Brady? I think it was on the refs, honestly. Cooks caught that ball. He caught it, 2 hands on the ball, in his gut, hits the ground, knee touches, they roll, guy takes the ball out of his hands. I think that's on the refs. The refs played a part in this game. But granted, it shouldn't have come down to that. It shouldn't have come down to that. When you turn the ball over 4 times in regulation and then a 5th time in overtime, which is what technically happened by the statistics. Do you deserve to win the game? I don't think so. James Cook dropped the ball. Josh Allen, 2 fumbles. Then the interception where he threw to Curtis Samuel. Those were all on Josh and James. Then you have the pass he missed to Khalil Shakir, where Khalil Shakir walks in for a touchdown. There's that one. He missed Dawson Knox down the field. Missed that one. Like, the nerves got Josh today. It's very questionable to go with a play like that. So Josh had stuff underneath. Let me keep a comment up. Josh had stuff underneath, and we could say Josh got a little greedy. And Brandon Cooks is really fast. Even at his age, he's still really, really fast. And he's a good route runner, and he's a true professional, and he had that ball. In my opinion, he had that ball, and it is what it is. But shouldn't have come down to that. There were plays left on the field by the players. I think Brady actually called a decent game. I'm not going to blame Joe Brady for this game. Most of it I put on Josh. That last drive, the defense did collapse. They collapsed. Let's be honest here. They collapsed on the last drive. They were tired. Mile High Stadium. No excuses. No one gives a shit about your excuses, right? You went out there. You played the game. Held the Broncos to nothing on the ground, so we knew that they were going to pass. A lot of this comes down to that, and also the Trey White injury, where Dane Jackson had to go on the field. Are you kidding me? Dane Jackson had to see the field. I knew instantly when I saw Dane, they're going to pick on him. They're going right there. That's what I would do. And what'd they do? They burnt Dane's ass. Dane needs to not wear a Bills uniform ever again. I like Dane Jackson, the person. And if you give him safety help, sure. But he's slow. He's just plain slow. If I was them, I'd have found somebody on someone's practice squad or something. I'd have found another corner. You don't go in there with Dane Jackson backing up Trey. We can't trust him. He's not been trustworthy since like his second year in the NFL, when him and freaking Levi Wallace were playing, and it burnt us in that game too. Yeah, the refs are definitely part of the problem here. They missed a bunch of calls against Denver, and they called a bunch of them against Buffalo. The Trey White one, the Trey White 2, right? The pass interference on Trey White was valid. That was valid. And then flagging him again because he got in the ref's face and slamming his helmet, taking his helmet off on the field of play. That's a penalty. Like, you can't lose your cool like that, Trey. And you can't get burnt like that. Marvin Mims was out there with a hurt back. He hurt his back on the Dane Jackson play, and you got burnt. And then you committed the penalty, and here we are. Right? If you don't get burnt, and you can get a hand on the ball, knock it down, that's a 56-yard kick. It's a 56-yard kick. That's not a gimme. Now, their kicker is a good kicker. He's a damn good kicker. But if you make him kick it from 56 rather than 24, come on now. And I still had faith all the way up until the ball was through the uprights, because I was like, maybe we can block it. Maybe we can block it. I held on to my hope. Man, I'm crushed right now, and I know I don't show it like that. I think it's mostly because of what I've gone through in the military, but these things happen. But I'm honestly crushed by this loss. This loss sucks. It sucks. I'm hurting. My wife's hurting. She called me a little bit ago. She was having some issues. So when I ended the show, I got to call her back. She's in Texas right now, spending time for her birthday with a friend. My wife is a huge Bills fan, and her friend is a Broncos fan. So they went and their birthdays are both this week. My wife's birthday was yesterday, and her friend's birthday is this week. So she went to Texas for a week to go spend time with her friend for their birthdays and enjoy this game together. She's having an issue. She's not feeling good. But my wife has health issues, so this one sucks. It hurts. It hurts bad. Hurts really bad. But life goes on, guys. Life goes on. I'm going to continue with the statistics. Through the air, even though we were working with a subpar receiving core, Dalton Kincaid had 6 catches for 83 yards. Khalil Shakir had 7 catches for 75, and Kincaid had a touchdown. Ray Davis had 2 catches for 33 yards. Dawson Knox had 3 catches for 32 yards. James Cook had 2 for 24. Brandon Cooks had 2 for 20. Keon had 1 for 10. Should have had 2. Mecole Hardman, 1 for 4. Curtis Samuel, 1 for 2. Josh only threw. Well, I say only. He threw to 9 guys, which is actually kind of a lot. Bo Nix threw 8 to Marvin Mims for 93 yards and a touchdown, and he couldn't fail. He was 8 of 8. Cortland Sutton, 4 catches, 53 yards. Marvin Mims also had that touchdown. R.J. Harvey, 5 catches for 46 yards. Lil Jordan Humphrey, 2 catches, 33 yards, and a tutty. Frank Crum, 1 catch, 7 yards, and a touchdown. That's a lineman, which, trick play. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. Evan Ingram, 1 catch for 7 yards. Tyler Batty, 1 catch, 7 yards. Nate Atkins, 1 for 1 yard. He also threw passes to Adam Troutman, Adam Prentice, and Jaleel McLaughlin. None of them were complete, but he threw those passes to those guys. He threw to 3 more guys, but he threw to 3 more guys, only completed to 8 guys. Josh completed to 9. The fumbles, Josh with 3. Lost 2. Recovered 1 of his own. James Cook, 1. Lost it. Alec Anderson recovered, or says he fumbled. I don't know how he fumbled, but yeah. It was terrible. This was terrible. The turnovers are what did us in. Because the Broncos offense doesn't put up those points if we don't turn the freaking ball over. Tell me how that was an interception with Cooks. I don't think it was. But, a lot of guys in here have been saying Vegas got to make their money. And, maybe they do. Maybe they do. I don't get into conspiracies like that, but that was fishy. It was definitely fishy. Again, I said it a couple times in the show already. Caught the ball in his body, 2 hands on the ball, knee touches the ground. That's a simultaneous catch, not even because the defender didn't have possession at all. He's had a hand in there. They rolled through, balls in the defender's hands, they give him the ball. It is what it is. It sucks. It freaking sucks. I'm doing my best not to curse. Right? I'm trying to be closer to God, and he's carrying me through this. But that was some BS. See, and Cook was down on that play. That wasn't no interception. I agree. Probably the last time we see a lot of these players in a Bills uniform. I'm telling you. If I look at, I'm gonna pull the Bills roster right now, right? Because the Bills defense played well. Cole Bishop had 12 tackles. Cam Lewis had 10 tackles. Then he went down, and they immediately picked on Savage, scored that touchdown, that deep touchdown. The injuries during the game really cost us, because when we lost Cam Lewis, touchdown immediately. When we lost Trey for that play, touchdown immediately. The Bills are going to have to invest in better depth. Granted, Cam Lewis is the depth. He's not the starter. But he played a pretty solid damn game. He's not the starter. He's the depth. So we had third stringer go in there. And Savage has not been with the team that long. He overplayed. the receiver, and he got burnt at the end there, right? That one's on him, but at the same time, he's still kind of new to the system. If they want to bring him back next year, I'm okay with that, but he's going to have to earn his way through the preseason. But man, that's crazy. Tre'Davious White, 4 tackles. Shaq Thompson, 5 tackles. Joey Bosa, 3 tackles. Darnell Savage, 3 tackles. Deion Walker, 3 tackles. And a pass defended. Christian Benford, 2 tackles and a pass defended. Daquan Jones, 2. Greg Rousseau, pass defended, 1. QB hits, 3. AJ Epinesa, he only had 1 tackle, but he had 2 passes defended. He was out there batting balls. The Broncos, they had 3 sacks. Alex Singleton had 14 tackles. Talanoa Ufanga, 10. PJ Locke, 9. Dondria Tillman. We ran a lot of plays on offense. We had pretty slow, methodical drives. We didn't do a lot of big chunk plays. Shakir had a nice big chunk play. Josh Allen with that big ass run, and then we turned it over. James Cook. This game was on the offense, guys. This was on the offense, and I don't think that it was really on Joe Brady like that. I just don't. See, White, Poyer, Lewis got to go. I think that they are gone. I mean, if they bring them back for the preseason to help teach people, but then they got to go. I liked White later in the season, though. I think Trey's fine. So if they bring Trey White back as depth, as in he gets knocked down the pecking order to like where Dane Jackson is, like cornerback 5, cornerback 6, and he's just on the team, I'm fine with that. Starting, hell no. Hell no. See, 0 sacks, poor pressure. We had good pressure. We just had 0 sacks. We had plenty of pressure on him, especially when we were blitzing. We had plenty of pressure. Bring back Brian Dable. Remember, Brian Dable did not really do well until he got Diggs. So if you bring back Dable, you have to invest in a wide receiver 1. And I think that's the case anyway. They're going to have to bring in a wide receiver 1. Here's the thing. If they were to trade for a Justin Jefferson, I might be inclined to keep Joe Brady. He was his passing game coordinator at LSU when they won that Natty. So that right there would be a hell of a matchup. But, there are some wide receivers in this draft that I do like. And I'm telling you that if they're unable to trade for a Justin Jefferson or another really, really good prospect at the position, see, coming out this year, wide receiver, the one I really like is Chris Bell out of Louisville. 6'2", 220 pounds with like 4.3 speed, 4.4 speed. That is a guy I can get behind. Denzel Boston out of Washington. I believe he's a little slower, 4.5 speed. X receiver, though. He's a true X, 6'4", 209. That's another guy that the Bills can look at. Freaking Chris Brazzell from Tennessee, 6'5", 200 pounds, a little light in the pants for me. 4.4 speed. 4.4 speed is really all you need. It's really all you need. Elijah Surratt from Indiana. Too slow for me, but impressive the way he's done this year with those guys. Chris Bell is probably my favorite guy coming out this draft. So, throw Keon a go ball, give him a chance. You gave him a chance in the end zone, and he dropped it. 2 hands on the ball, back of the end zone, catch the damn ball. See, it's darn sad that we are talking about the draft tonight. It is. But that's what's necessary for this team to move forward, right? They not talking about the draft, but having a draft where they can actually get a weapon that's going to make sense. Like the Bills could have drafted Ladd McConkey. But Josh wanted Keon Coleman, and I believe that swayed Brandon Beane into waiting and then drafting Keon Coleman. Everybody's like, well, we gave the Chiefs Worthy. What's Worthy doing? He's not doing a damn thing. Xavier Worthy's not good. He's just fast. Right? Xavier Legette. A lot of people wanted Xavier Legette. What's he doing? It's a bum out there. He's got a 6th or 7th round pick from Holy Cross, rookie wide receiver, outmatching him. Right? The wide receivers in that first round, not really that good this year. Brian Thomas Jr. had a down year. I'm not impressed with the wide receivers that came out in that first round outside of Emeka. Actually, that was this year. Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I forget who else was drafted early in that draft. But yeah, I'm not mad at the Bills for waiting to the second round. I'm mad at the Bills for taking Coleman over McConkey. Could have had Pearsall too. And in Buffalo, you could argue Pearsall doesn't get shot. This year, Xavier Worthy, 42 catches, 521 receptions, 1 touchdown. Keon Coleman was sat down for a lot of this year. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that Keon Coleman is a better wide receiver than Xavier Worthy. He was sat down for a lot of games this year. 38 receptions, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns. I'll take Keon Coleman in that argument every day of the freaking week. Keon is so ass. He is ass, and so is Xavier Worthy. Lad is no Shakir. Lad can play inside and out, and Lad's got speed. I like the thought process there, but he's in LA. He's playing inside, he's playing outside, he's a good route runner. Yeah. At least Kincaid starts to look the part. Yes, he does. And he's blocking pretty good. On that one run where they sprung Cook to the right, he blocked the hell out of the linebacker. Like, I mean, he put hands on that boy. So, yeah. See, Juwan Jennings, unrestricted free agent. I do like that idea. I do like Juwan Jennings. Thing is, they voided the contract of what's his face? Tore his ACL. Brandon Ayuk. So they're no longer on the books for Brandon Ayuk's contract. They voided that contract. So his guarantees are all gone. And because of that, they have cap space. See, don't worry, Bean will bring this tired-ass roster to training camp and keep saying we don't need a receiver. No, he won't. This year makes that not possible. This year makes that a fireable offense. Because we made it this far with these bums at receiver. The only guys at receiver that we have that aren't bums are Khalil Shakir and Brandon Cooks. That's it. Maybe Joshua Palmer, who was misused this year, I believe, and then injured often enough. But I digress. If we go into training camp next year and we don't improve the wide receiver room, Brandon Bean is fired. It's fired. It's over. It's done. What off-season moves you think will happen? All right, so 3 priorities. Priority number 1, clearly wide receiver. Priority number 2, clearly addressing the linebacker spot. Milano's contract is up, right? They renegotiated it, took money down. He got some incentives, and they voided next year of his contract. So he's done in Buffalo unless they sign him and he takes a deal. I like how he played later in the season this year. Like early in the season, he was not Matt Milano, but lately he's been Matt Milano. That I remember. From the time he was drafted, he's been my favorite player on this defense. 5th round pick, underdog story, kicking butt. And then he got hurt a couple times, and the injury bug bit him. Trey White's kind of similar, right? Injured 2 years in a row. Last year, played like dog shit. This year, started off slow. But then as the season went on, Trey White got much better. Safety is the last position I was going to say. So it's wide receiver, safety, linebacker. Those are the 3 priorities. Cole Bishop is fine, right? took a big step this year. Cole Bishop is fine. I like Cole. If they draft a rookie wide receiver, top 3 rounds, or excuse me, corner or safety, excuse me, in the top 3. Oh, I'm getting all these positions mixed the hell up right now. You go first 3 rounds, wide receiver, safety, linebacker. Those are the priorities. Wide receiver, safety, linebacker are the priorities. You go get those positions. You get you a true Mike linebacker at that. And you move Terrell Bernard's ass out to Will, where he's supposed to be, at 225 pounds, like Matt Milano, lightweight dude. You look at Shaq Thompson, he's like 233 pounds, 235 pounds. He's a true Mike. He's a Mike linebacker. You got to do something with that. Guys, I'll be right back. I got a potty. All right. Sorry about that, guys, but I've been drinking a ton of water today to avoid drinking the whiskey because the show's important to me. See, we got to re-sign Edwards and McGovern. I don't think we're going to be able to re-sign both. So I think that they're going to prioritize one of the two. Center is usually a more expensive position, but I think that Connor McGovern is one of the better centers in the NFL. And so that being said, he should be the priority. And yeah. Let's see this. McGovern's probably going to be the priority there. Edwards is damn good, especially in the system that Aaron Cromer runs. But Alec Anderson, I believe, has proven himself to be a valuable offensive lineman, and it's time for him to move up the depth chart. But if they decide to roll with David Edwards, I think Cedric Van Prank-Ranger's numbers the next one to be called at center. See, 2 wide receivers. Yes, but you're not gonna go after 2 number ones. You're not gonna go after Justin Jefferson and like a top flight, another top flight guy. You're gonna look for a true X like a Justin Jefferson, like a Puka Nacua, who's not on the market. We're gonna be looking for something like that. And then you got to get another guy who can play the Y. Right? The F is covered. Slot, that's Khalil Shakir. We got tight ends galore. We're fine there. But this year has told me, if Joe Brady comes back next year, that you have to invest in a 1 and a 2. And the 2 can be like, a draft pick or something like that. But yeah. Olave, I like that. I do like Olave. The only problem with Olave is he's hurt often enough, but I do like Olave. I wouldn't be mind if they try sending a pick to Miami for Waddle. Like if he gets to the offseason and changes his mind, like, you know what? First round pick for Waddle here. Take it. You're saying 2 in the draft. Well, if they do trade a draft pick for like a Chris Olave or a Jalen Waddle or, pick a name. Nico Collins, which is not likely. Then yeah, you draft one other guy. But yeah, the draft is probably going to be prioritizing offense this year. I think the defense is fine. Ed Oliver didn't play most, if any, of that second half, and we still stopped the run. Deion Walker and TJ Sanders were enough. They were doing their thing. But yeah, trade Keon Coleman and a pick for Olave. Yep. Alec is a free agent as well, I do believe. He is, but he's a restricted free agent. So we have first crack. Big name wide receiver like Justin Jefferson is perfect. I agree. We need a big name wide receiver. It doesn't have to quite be as big as Justin Jefferson's name, but if he's available, because they have to be willing to trade him, then go get him. Go get him. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Go get him. But let me change gears a little bit here. Looking at the guys who are probably gone. Let's see. The Buffalo Bills are middle of the pack when it comes to cap space. As of right now, this is speculatory. And so players that can be cut for a profit. Let's see. So we can let go of Ed Oliver, but take 21 in dead cap. We'd save $2.5 million almost. Dawson Knox is a guy who can be released, and we take a dead cap hit of $7.4 million, but we'd save 9.6. Taron Johnson can be released. We'd save $1.9 million and take a dead cap of 9.5. If it was a post-June one cut, Taron Johnson would save us $8 million. So that's possible for him. Taron Johnson has been a liability this year. I've said it all year. They can release Tyler Bass if people are off the Bass train and save $2.9 million. Draft another kicker late in the draft. Osiris Torrance, they could cut him technically. I don't think they will. And save $3.8 million. They could release Dorian Williams and save $3.6 million. They could release Taylor Rapp and save $3 million, which I think he's gone. They could let go of Ty Johnson and save $2.5 million, but I don't think he's gone. He's one of the better players on his team when it comes to what he's used for. Let's see. Dwayne Carter can be released and save $1 million. I think he's as good as gone. Dane Jackson. Save $1.2 million, I guess. I don't even know if he's on contract next year. Is this for this year or is this for next year? 2026. Okay, yeah. Keon Coleman would cost us a dead cap hit of $2.7 million, or we'd pay him not to be here. Keon Coleman, if I go down back to him though, but if it's a post-June 1 move, we still eat $1.75 million. So they might just cut him, just addition by subtraction kind of deal, or trade him. See, T. Sanders ain't going anywhere. Cole Bishop ain't going anywhere. Reed Ferguson ain't going anywhere. Dwayne Carter, yep, already said him. Landon Jackson ain't going anywhere. He's a rookie this year. Deion Walker, Ray Davis, Cedric Van Prangranger. Those are pretty safe. Javon Solomon, they could save $1 million, and he might be as good as gone. Tyler Grable would save us another $1 million. He might be as good as gone. There's going to be a mass exodus of players this year, guys. There's going to be a mass exodus of players this year. The Bills are probably going to have a youth movement this coming off season. Big youth movement. See, Cooks might deserve a spot back as a wide receiver 4-5. I think he could be the wide receiver 2. If you go get a Justin Jefferson and you have him on the outside, Brandon Cooks on the outside, and then Khalil Shakir on the inside, I'm comfortable. Which then puts Palmer where he should be, wide receiver 4, right? We know that Gabe Davis isn't coming back next year. So Gabe Davis is they probably bring him back on the roster just to put him on IR and let him heal, because he got hurt so late in the season that he's probably not going to be ready to play anything meaningful until after next year. He might be able to play in the playoffs maybe, but yeah, that's crazy. What's the dead cap on Bean? That's funny. I don't think he's going anywhere this year, but if next year he doesn't get this shit right, he'll be gone. I do think that. I think that he's going to have like one last shot to get this roster right, because the roster construction has been kind of the downfall of the Buffalo Bills, most of our postseason exits, right? If you look at all of our losses outside of 13 seconds, well, even 13 seconds, because you had Dane Jackson as a starting corner, and you had freaking Levi Wallace on the other side because Trey got hurt. You know, I agree with that. I've been saying that. I agree with that. I've been saying that for weeks since he got fired. Gonna suck waking up tomorrow. Every day waking up is a good day, right? Not everybody's blessed to have tomorrow. God bless you, but I hope that, I know this isn't gonna suck with that we lost, but yeah. See, Bo Nix broke ankle in overtime and now out for the season. Looks like the winner of tomorrow in the AFC champ. Oh wow. If that's true, then wow. Let me go to ESPN and see. Broncos QB Bo Nix suffered a season-ending broken bone in his ankle during today's overtime victory at Buffalo. You freaking bastard. You could have just let us win that game. And yeah, they're going to lose next week. It's over for them. Bean has got to be on the hot seat big time. Yeah, absolutely on the hot seat. They're not going to tolerate this type of roster construction for another year. We have depth at some of these key places. Oh, yeah, it's on ESPN. I just saw it. I instead of going to X and seeing all the people BSing about it, I went to ESPN, and it's on ESPN. Breaking news by Adam Schefter. See, I swear he whispered into Josh's ear when they met at midfield. Josh wasn't at midfield. When in overtime, at least. I don't know the beginning of the game, but in overtime he was not. I don't think at the beginning of the game either, because he was on the bench by himself. But man, oh man. Man, oh man. That makes it sting a little more, actually. With big changes coming, why not a proven DC like Jim Schwartz and maybe a new OC too? I don't know what big changes are coming potentially, right? I'm not sure what the big changes will be, but I think that there are going to be some changes coming. Josh and Nix hugged, and Nix covered his mouth. You could read what he said. Oh, okay. Josh had to be extra devastated after that then. Like, oh, man, I lost to a guy who had a broken ankle. That's trash. Apparently, Bo Nix just suffered. Yeah. Yep. We're talking about it already. Jesus. So we both freaking lost. Awesome. Yeah, just guys, be ready for a mass exodus of talent from the Buffalo Bills this coming season. I'm going to see if I can operate this thing. Let me see. I'm going to go to Spot Track. To discuss most likely players departing from the Buffalo Bills. Oh, their website must be down or something. Must be a bunch of people trying to do what I'm doing. Cap calculator. Okay, never mind. I found it. Here we go. Bills. Boom. Okay, so if I'm going down the list, players who are already free agents going into the season: Jordan Poyer, Darius Slade, David Edwards, Darnell Savage, Brandon Cooks, Gabe Davis, Shaq Thompson, Trey White, DeMar Hamlin, Jordan Phillips, Cam Lewis, Reggie Gilliam, Mitch Trubisky, Mitch Wisnowski, Matt Prater, Fedarian Mathis, Ryan Vandermark, Sam Franklin, Alec Anderson, and Balin Spector. All free agents next year. So we're not going to count on cutting any of them. Let's see. So let's say they want to cut Dawson Knox. Pre June 1st, we save $9 million. Post, we save 12. So I don't want to kick anything down the road, so we're gonna go pre-submit. So I think Dawson Knox might be cut and then brought back if he wants to be here. Otherwise, he might go somewhere like Tennessee to go home. Curtis Samuel, you're as good as cut. Bye. See. Hoyt's coming back. Kalishnik's coming back. James Cook's coming back. Terrell Bernard's coming back. Tyler Bass. If we cut him post June 1st, we save. It's not worth kicking that much money down the road. Submit. He's gone. Apparently, Conor McGovern's got a void year this coming year, so still not on the roster. Kincaid's not going anywhere. Torrance ain't going anywhere. Dorian Williams ain't going anywhere. Taylor Rapp is gone. Bye. Daquan Jones, he has a void year. He's already gone. Ty Johnson, Maxwell Harrison, AJ Panessa has a void year. He's already gone. Keon Coleman, they probably do a trade post. Actually, no, doesn't matter. Let's say he stays, just to say he does. See Senator Cole, Bishop, Reed Ferguson, Dwayne Carter, cut. Dane Jackson. Apparently he's on the roster next year as well. Apparently he's on a 2-year deal. But no, we save $1.2 million cutting you. Bye. Needs to not be here ever again. Ray Davis stays. Van Pank Rager stays. Javon Solomon. I like you, but cut. Jordan Hadcock, Jackson Hawes. Apparently Nick Broker's on the roster next year. We'll probably maintain the rest of these guys. Dorian Strong might be gone just because of the injury. Hopefully he's not. I like Dorian Strong and how he was projecting as a depth corner. Wande Owens. These guys will be here for training camp. With all the guys that I cut, the Buffalo Bills would have $13 million in cap space. And then, they're going to do their restructures and all that good stuff. But yeah. But guys, that's my show. I hope everybody here has as good of a rest of the day as they can. You said cut Bass. Let me see. Did I not cut Bass? Bass. No, I did cut him. Yeah, he's cut. So cutting Bass puts us at $13.423 million over the cap. And then, of course, they're going to freaking restructure Josh again. They'll probably restructure Ed or, Rousseau. Somebody will get the restructure. They'll try and bring some guys back. They'll do some void years. They got tools for cap finagling. But yeah, the Bills will be fine next year. Let's go Bills, guys. I love you all. Thank you for all for being here. Even the guys who said things that I don't agree with, or even guys who came in here and said Bills suck. Thank you for contributing to the numbers for the channel. Today was a big show. You guys, 1,326 of you guys registered on my ticker, which is huge. I've had bigger, but usually it's after an event like this. So thank you guys for all tuning in, coming to Built in Buffalo. Please, if you can, check out our YouTube channel. We're looking to boost our numbers there, but it's the same exact show. We also have shorts on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok. Like, we're all over the place, but YouTube is the one we're really trying to crack. If you guys can, like, share, subscribe, come over to YouTube and enjoy the show. But our season's over, and apparently so is the Broncos. Do good, be good. God bless, and freaking go Bills.